So I've been listening a lot to Michael Trimble, who's a former opera singer and current opera teacher, and he's on YouTube, so you can listen to stuff. But what I find really interesting about his methodology is he's teaching the style that all the classic bel canto singers used, and these are basically the best singers that have ever lived because they're able to resonate across the whole auditorium without microphones and without enhancements in the volume. So it's like almost like I can trust what he's saying way more than like a lot of the contemporary teachers, because like the modern singers, they can't do that in the same way. And so that's, I guess, the most pure way to sing. And what he talks about, well, he talks about many things, but one of the things he talks about is breathing into your back rather than belly breathing. And the reason that's so fascinating is because he was saying in his book at one point, I think it was in the late 1800s, there was someone who developed a methodology of breathing into the belly rather than into the back. And because it was easier for new singers to adopt that, that was then being taught to all these new singers, and it became quite a popular method of teaching people how to breathe for singing, because it was so much easier to learn. But the flip side to that is it ends up resulting in bad technique, because it's way more likely to go into the nose. You have to manipulate the soft palate to rise rather than it rising naturally with the breath, and also you get less air capacity. So apparently, if you breathe, well, this is according to Michael Trimble, so apparently if you breathe into your navel, that's like your belly button, if you like breathe into your back at that point, you're able to get apparently double the capacity of air. And it's also, if you think of it like a balloon, if you're breathing into the front and you're not getting as much capacity, and obviously, people say, front, sides as well, and, everything. But if you ignore the front, if you go for the sides and the back, according to Michael Trimble, that's the best way to do it. So if you had a balloon and it's half full, say, and you try to press the air out, there's going to be a lot of pressure coming at one time out of the balloon, and it's going to irritate, say, imagine the openings like your vocal folds. It's likely to have more of an impact on the cords in a negative way. But if you have a big balloon and you're letting the air out slowly, it's a lot more efficient, and it's not going to have as much pressure going through the cords and irritating them. Now, I've been doing a lot of back breathing this afternoon and this evening, and then when I'm seeing it's just the difference is profound. It's like it's so much easier on the cords. It's like so much easier. You're able to retain more, and it's like it's almost like when Michael Trimble was saying this stuff, it's like you're uncovering like the secrets of the greatest singers ever. So like, why wouldn't you listen to that? It just seems very obvious. And I've been seeing just this evening, and it's the difference is extraordinary. So yeah, I'd be really interested to see if I can get like that surgery on the styloids done, and that's gonna release that tension on my vagus nerve, because I think at the minute my jugular vein is compressed on both sides by my styloids. But this whole health journey I've been on is to try and figure that out, I guess. And once that's like adjusted or like taken off or taken out, even I think the usual process is they cut some of the bone out on both styloids. But hopefully that should mean that my nervous system can work a lot better, and then I can breathe a lot more full and everything like that. Because it's like every once in a blue moon I'll be able to breathe properly, even though I'd done so many breathing exercises. So I'll be really interested to see how the back breathing combined with my, breathing actually working better 100% of the time rather than once in a blue moon, which would be really cool. So I'll be excited to see how that goes. But yeah, seriously, like breathing into the back, it's so much easier. I'll just do a simple exercise there. And then if I'm breathing into the back, bad example. like it doesn't go into the nose. It's like it's just so much. And he's saying that if you breathe into the back, and then the first thing that you do is come on with like a falsetto. You imagine it's like so light at the top, and you kind of like lean, and you don't even move the chest. You keep it exactly still, and you don't do any vowel modifications. That's another thing. It's just like don't do any vowel modifications. It's like now, I'm not doing the best examples, but the point is that's like mixing, and it's super easy and doesn't feel harsh anyway. I'm not manipulating. Well, I mean, I am manipulating, but I just shouldn't be. The idea is that you don't feel anything here. But yeah, it's like breathing is that you get way more, and my voice, as you can probably hear, I mean, seriously, like and this has been as well since the Alf, and yeah, and since like, really trying to get this jaw to move properly, it's been a lot more resonant in my voice, and you can probably, if you compare this to previous weeks and months, you'll be able to hear the difference. But yeah, I would say if you listen to advice from the greatest singers of all time, that's likely to help you significantly, I'd imagine. But yeah, no, it's pretty, like seriously, like the different, because if you breathe to the front as well, like if you breathe out and then you try to sing on that, like you're already like tightening up, and then you kind of like sing, you kind of like push, or not push, you kind of lean as you do that. But if your belly's full here, how can you really do that? So yeah, breathing into the back, and then, leaning on your sternum here when it's completely, it's kind of like a wall, you're leaning on it. So it doesn't move at all, but you're applying that pressure there. So, it's like, that's a really, I'm obviously not doing very well, but that's a very, very light quality. And that's not something that I can usually do. So that's, yeah, definitely something to look out for, yeah. Anyway, that's food for thought. But I'll speak to you all soon.